Thank you very much. We are here in Klerksdorp in the northwest, where we are anticipating the march that involves COSATU will take place. As we understand that we are in Jade Square here. As you can see, members of COSATU, NUM and other unions are starting to gather here, but what we understand is that they will march from here to the Department of Employment and Labor, where the Premier's office together with Department of Mineral Resources will also be there to accept the memorandum. But before we came here, we've been driving around Jobetina here in Klerksdorp to see how things are going in terms of learners going to school, in terms of community members receiving health care in Tshepong Hospital in Jobetin and also here in Klerksdorp. But we have seen patients going in and out in Tshepong Hospital in Jobetin, whereas learners, we have seen learners in fact in other schools in Tshepong attending lessons, but we don't know whether if the learners will continue with their lessons during the rest of the day. But I'm going to ask my camera guy, Tumelo Setlhabetsi, to turn just to show you that here in Klerksdorp, just behind my camera, my colleague, in fact, Tumelo Setlhabetsi, it's Tshepong Hospital. As you can see, that is the entrance where workers are entering, but on the other side of the hospital, it's an entrance where patients are going in and out. But we have seen patients in this hospital where my colleague Tumelo Setlhabetsi is showing you going in and out to go and receive treatment. But I'm gonna talk to the Secretary of COSATU here in the Northwest, Kopano Kunupi, who's going to give us the program of today as to how is their program going to unfold as they prepare to march to the Department of Employment and Labor, which is less than 2 kilometers, I think, from here or from where we are. Mr. Kunupi, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Zebulon.
Just give us a brief as to how many members are you expecting and what is it that is going to happen going forward?
We are expecting around not more than 3,000 people to come in here, and from here we will proceed down the street of OR Tambo, and then we'll go into Fort Reger, and we'll go to the Department of Mineral and Resources and Energy, where we are going to hand over the memorandum to the DMRE, to the Office of the Premier, to the Department of Labor, Employment and Labor. We have got a confirmation that the MEC of Health and the MEC of Public Works will be receiving the memorandum on behalf of the provincial government today. And we have got the CEC member, the National Treasurer of Nehau, Comrade Khomoso. He's around. She will be arriving here in few minutes, who will be giving a keynote address for the memorandum in terms of what our demands are.
We've been around Klerksdorp in Jobetin, to be precise, where we have seen teaching and lessons going on. Did you inform your members to attend the march? What have you done?
We have informed all the members of COSATU, we have informed all the members of the community that today is a national stay away. We must remember that this is a protected strike in terms of Section 77, and all workers have been informed. But you should understand that it's not all workers who belong to COSATU. Some members belong to other unions who do not affiliate to COSATU. Maybe that is why some of them are going into there, because it is not all federations that got this certificate to strike. The certificate is a certificate of COSATU, although we know that SAFTU have pledged their support and solidarity to COSATU activity today. So we understand that some of the people are not there. With regard to health services, we are a responsible trade union federation. We know that health is an essential service and people cannot die because we are making demands. We say while we make demands for better living conditions, we cannot lose other people due to our demands.
So in that case, one can ask that, can we anticipate to see teachers joining you during the course of the day?
We already have some of the teachers here, the members of SATU, they are here in the march, and we are expecting a number of them to come and join. You would understand that when it's a stay away, people do not wake up as early as usual, but we already have got a sizable sizable number of teachers who are here. We've got a sizable number of some health workers, members of NEHAU. We've got a sizable number of members of NUM who are here. And we are hoping that the number will increase as the day go by.
Now, we understand that your grievances includes that the load shedding. We understand that the price of fuel and food that is going up. Now, do you have time frame that you have given to a government, and if failure to a government to adhere to your time frame, what is it that you're going to do going forward?
We have given the state 14 days to respond to our memorandum. You would understand that the 7th of October is the International Day of Decent Work. If the state is not responding to our memorandum within 14 days, we'll go back to the drawing board, but we are anticipating to have another national strike by the 7th of October, where it is an International Day of Decent Work. And if we don't get any further response after the 7th of October, we will come back to the drawing board and see what direction are we going to take so that we can force the state to respond to our demands.
And lastly, Stats SA has released the report of unemployment in our country, and it says that it has dropped by 0.6%. What's your view with regards to the stats that has been released?
If you look at that, while they talk about the creation of about 638,000 more jobs, the major contributor to the drop is because there are more people who are discouraged to go and look for jobs. It is not that there is a large amount of people who are employed. So we still believe that our economy is not creating sufficient jobs as it's supposed to be. So we welcome the increase, but we still believe that the economy can do better and we can do more to get more people in employment. We say that there is an encouraging figure, but much more needs to be done so that we can get sufficient people in the workplace.
And lastly, as COSATU, what is it that needs to be done?
We need to go back, re-look at our economic policies, withdraw the austerity measures that we have implemented, come up with better policies that can be able to take the countries out of the crisis that is in. That is one of the things that we must look at. We need to get energy security that will be able to draw in investors, and we mustn't have too much reliance on FDI, but we must build local economy and do some policy shift. We know that there have been discussions at the point of the alliance. There are better proposals that have been tabled at the alliance, but we need to go back to those proposals and have them implemented in the state so that we can be able to recover the economy and come up with a better situation in our country.
Mr. Kunupi, thanks very much for your time. That is Mr. Kunupi, Secretary of COSATU here in the Northwest. As you can see, the number of members of COSATU is increasing bit by bit as they are singing here. As you can see, they are singing songs of freedom here, but we anticipate that the march will start from here where we are in James Square to the Department of Employment and Labor. We understand that the march will start at 10 o'clock.
Zabilon, thank you so much for bringing us the latest there. And of course, you can see our colleagues spread out throughout the country. On the top just next to me there is live scenes from Pretoria, where Mbalenhle Mthethwa is also covering the story of the national shutdown for us.